sorry about the problems, but welcome. So today we're going to be speaking about everything that's happening around this new moon that will be happening in about 9 hours from now. But it's not just the new moon, and I'm not going to be talking specifically about the astrology because I'm not an astrologer, and you can find that elsewhere. I'm going to talk about how we can use this astrology to help what it is that's wanting to live itself through us into this world actually come into existence in your life here and now. So welcome, my name is Daniel Piatek. I'm a practical mystic, which means I go through my life in concert with and in cooperation with all the forces of life within me and outside of me, helping me to more and more surrender to the divine spark within me. So today we're going to talk about, and we're going to do, I'm going to be leading you, most of today is going to be leading you through a process and leading you through your own process to discover within you some things about what is wanting to come through into your life, to deal with whatever it is that might be getting in the way for you, and to setting the, well, basically we're going to be planting some seeds that you're going to be tending over these next weeks coming up, these seeds of this new life, which you may already started to see, which you may be getting a sense is trying to come into existence, but might be having a difficult time coming in, planting the seeds for the outpicturing of that experience in your life. Maybe it's a particular situation, maybe it's a change in job, maybe it's coming more into alignment with what's really important to you and the kind of work that you do, or the people that you spend time with, or how it is that you go about living your day-to-day life, whatever that is for you, so that it actually begins to really work for you and work as you, as this deepest part of who you are. So welcome, and thanks for joining me. So I'm going to be leading you through setting some intentions for your life, the life that's wanting to live itself through you. And I'm going to guide you into meeting and releasing the energy of the fears or the restrictions that may be impeding this coming into your life. And we're going to, in essence, create a metaphorical and energetic womb inside of you. And you're going to plant the seeds of what it is that you're visioning for your life. So if you check the astrology, if you follow that, I've been following astrology fairly closely for the past almost 2 years now. And I am not an astrologer, at least not in this life, but I've found that having people who interpret the astrology in a way that resonates for me, spending time listening to them, it's helped me a great deal to decode and to understand my experience in a way that supports me, particularly in the times that we're going through, because we are going through the time now, which and I'm getting this information directly from the energies that I work with. You know, look around you, many people are saying this. People have been saying this, different cultures, for millennia. But there will come a time, and I believe that we are now in it, in which the world is going to be going through changes that are more profound than we can even imagine. And that we are in the process of birthing an entire new embodiment of spirit as human being here on planet Earth. Now, I imagine that that's going to take a little while, more than the lives that we are here to live in this body, likely. But, you know, maybe we'll be back and we'll continue this evolution. But we are in the process of engaging with, at a personal level, in our own life and in our own spirit experience, the kinds of changes for us personally, which allow a great expanse and bandwidth of the entirety of who it is that we are, not as Daniel here in this body who's lived on this earth for 58 and a half years, who has these parents and has this family and da-da-da-da. Not that me. The me that existed before this body was born into the planet. The me that's been living experiences for eons of time. As a spark of the divine, a spark of the creator, trying to understand itself and to evolve the very nature of what it means to be conscious. And we're here doing it in physical form in this life. And this is what we have to deal with day to day. The shit of life. And the joys and all of it. The way I engage all of this, I refer to it as practical mysticism. So dealing with the everyday experience of being a human being, but trying increasingly to perceive that challenge and to perceive ourselves in this context of spirit evolving itself into an entirely new way of being, and us doing it more and more consciously with all the various aspects of human life, of non-human life. So we're going to be doing a little bit of exploration today. So today is going to be, I'm going to say some things to kind of help to put in perspective where we're at now, so that I can help, maybe to help you give a mirror to reflect back your own experience over the recent time, and maybe shift it a little bit, maybe see it a little differently. And then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to lead you through an inward journey to do some work. So that's what we're going to do today. So where are we and how did we get here? So starting about 2 years ago, we began a process from the lens of astrology of a great deal of things beginning to change. And we're only seeing the beginning of it. So the kind of change that we're going through now is going to continue for quite a while, and will continue to expand and grow and get more I don't even know what word to use. Like when I get this information, they say, you know, so for somebody like me who's been engaged in this kind of work for 35 years in my life, in exploring other realms consciously through meditation, through medicine, through my own inward journeys with my guides and the energies that I work with. So even for you that has some idea of what we're in and what's coming, the kinds of changes that we're going to go through are going to be immensely surprising and shocking, because the mind that we have, the way that we're used to seeing, cannot even begin to conceive of the kinds of changes that we're going to be going through. Now, you can talk to people that are in technology, that are in business, or in these, you know, these kind of fields that are not interested in wouldn't necessarily come to something like this. And they will talk about the time we're moving into being of a time of exponential change, of a kind of change that we have never seen, and that is in essence likely to be beyond the capacity of the human being, at least as we are now, to be able to conceive of the kind of change that we're going to be walking into. So we showed up this, we signed up for this, we can do this, we are doing it. So now we're at this period of time where a lot's been happening for the last 2 years. Maybe not that long for you, maybe more recently. This big change started for me in this particular round about 2 years ago. A lot being coming up for question, a lot of seeing things around us, things inside of us that no longer fit, that we wish to shed, that we want to change, relationships, situations, jobs, etc., that we came to realize this does not align with what I hold as my sense of my own value and of what I value in the world. And we've been beginning to make those changes. And over the past 6 months or so, maybe beginning to to some degree, the new life, the new situation, the new whatever, the new things. For me, it's many, many things in my life, but primarily it's taken the form of the work that I do. Has been changing a lot and is going through another change. So we are being changed. We are being taken through a process of changing. And since about the beginning of the year, maybe seeing these new things beginning to come and having such a difficult time to move forward. And and maybe the last month or two, you've felt things kind of begin to move forward. I certainly did. Suddenly a lot of activity, a lot of moving forward. And now we're hitting a time where life is saying, stop. I need you to stop, to take a breath, to sit back, to let go, and to surrender so that we can drop in a few more things into your vision, take a few more things out of your way so that you can continue to move on into creating the life that you actually came here to live. So for the next week or so, week and a half, of really stepping back, of letting go of any trying to push anything forward, to move ahead only on those things that feel right, that feel true, that speak to our heart, that light us up, that bring us joy. To face the fears that come up in response to that. And they're likely going to be familiar ones by now. So many of my clients are having kind of that same old stuff come up again. It's like, wow, I thought I dealt with that. But life is coming up and kind of showing us again, here it is that has been basically your inner nemesis for a long time, and you've been becoming familiar with it, and now you're in a new place. You're more mature, you're more strong, you're more healed. You can see this, you can take this on from a different place. And to relax into letting go, surrendering, not needing to push forward right now, so that some new things can be dropped into our awareness. So we may be feeling right now both, I need to move forward, I'm feeling like I'm ready to move forward, things have been moving forward, but I'm not quite sure. It's like this really kind of odd, what's the word, sort of schizophrenic state. And for right now, life is saying, hold on. So the software that I'm using is different software. I see that Beulah has said hello. If anybody else is commenting, I'm going to try to take a look and follow it, but I may not be able to follow it. So just know that. Just know that if I'm not responding to you, that it's because I'm not seeing it. Okay. So if you're in a place where it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes, I'm going to lead us through a process that's going to be about 15 or 20 minutes. And if you're not, then you might come back later on the replay, because this will be available on YouTube and on Facebook for you to come back to. But I'm going to invite you to get comfortable, and we're going to engage. I'm going to speak about this for a second. So when we close our eyes and allow ourselves to be guided through a process, what the hell is going on? What is that happens? So here's how I see this. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for saying hi. It's good to see you. And I'm glad that we're connected on Facebook. Okay, cool. Just know that after we go through this process, I'm going to be taking questions if you have questions, and then saying a little bit about what's coming up, because we're about to go through as we hit towards the end of the month, and because in the astrology, it's coming into eclipse time. Eclipse time tends to be times of big change. Right now, we're in a time of big, permanent, thank fucking God, change. And it's why I felt it was so important to do this. And I mentioned it on my Facebook group the other day, because I just realized it's like, I got to do something, because seeds are going to be planted in us that are going to grow into something. And it's much better to do it consciously and to understand the process that we're being taken through, so we can participate with it, so that it's not so difficult, so that the results end up becoming much greater, much more in alignment. So that's the process I'm going to lead you through in a second. But let me just say something about when the way I see when I close my eyes and I go on an inward journey, or if I'm led by somebody, or if I'm leading other people, which I do a lot in my work, the way I see it is that we're going into another realm. It's another level of our multidimensional existence. So I'm going to speak about this very, very briefly, and it's something, because it's something that's hard to speak about because the mind can't get. But each of us have had our experiences of this. Is that it's possible to have experiences of life which are of a different order. So sometimes we have these if we do certain kinds of drugs, or certain sexual experiences can bring this up, or meditation, etc. Those are just some examples of what I'm talking about. But I have come over the years to come to know myself as existing the way I'm going to put words to something that's impossible to put words to. But what do we got? We got words. Is that I've come to know myself as being able to tune into my experience, like on a radio dial, to different levels / dimensions / frequencies of who it is that I am. This body, this experience here in this body, isn't just one of them, it's a few of them. Depending on which part of my experience I tune into, it's a different level. And then we get beyond levels of experience which are not contained in this physical or energetic form. So when I ask you to close your eyes, it's all right. So if you could let me know on your end by typing something, if you can, then I would appreciate it. So it looks like I'm back somewhat. Hopefully you're still here, and I apologize for that. But if you could type something so that I know that I'm connected back up again, that would be great. And then we're going to go have some fun. So I apologize for that. I love technology, I really do, except when it has a problem. But it's so annoying. Thanks, Jen. Okay. Hopefully we're back on YouTube. We'll see. Anyway, so what I was just saying is, thank you guys. So what I was saying is that when I ask you to close your eyes, I'm going to ask you to think about that you're accessing a different part of you. And so as you're trying to access a different part of you, the thinking mind, which thinks in words and is trying to understand and pin things down, is going to want to kind of do its thing. So just see that mind and just kind of gently just sort of brush it aside. Pay no mind, pay no attention to it. And just have fun exploring, okay? So get yourself comfortable. Begin to take some slow, deep breaths. Begin to calm your body down to come into your physicalness. Become aware of as much of the surface of your skin as you can. And imagine that in the center of your chest, which is we call the heart space, imagine that there's a big magnet there. And it's gently drawing you, your attention, you, to it. Feel yourself falling gently deeper and deeper into yourself, into your heart space. A place that can know a great deal, but doesn't use words. Take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a second. And then slowly let it out and imagine that the rest of your attention falls down into your chest as the breath falls out of your mouth. Beautiful. Now with your intention, which just means this is what is, connect your heart space up to your higher self, the part of your individual spiritual essence, which is here with you, but doesn't fit into the body. And just trust that that is happening. The mind is always going to question. Ignore it. And then I'm going to ask you to connect further on up to what I would call source, creator. Whatever that might be in your mind, and just trust that that's happening. This connection to our source, however you imagine that, will become more and more critical as time goes on. So feel whatever there is to feel. Allow all of it, and allow yourself to trust. Beautiful. Now, without trying to think too much, I would like to have you allow to come to your mind all of the things that you've been letting go of over this past period of time, months, years, over the past recent times. Things like certain ideas about yourself, certain ideas about what is or isn't right for you. Just let them come up. Ways of seeing yourself that you've realized didn't fit anymore and you've been letting them go. Where you realized you were giving your power away to others or to situations. Just notice these things. And notice how much has changed for you. And now I'm going to ask you to consider asking higher self, asking source, and any other being who you would like to ask to help you to let go of anything else that you're holding on to now that does not belong with you as you move into the road ahead. And just allow whatever experience happens. Allow the feeling of energy moving. Take a slow, deep breath in. And then when you exhale, allow your attention to fall deeper into your heart, trusting more, ignoring the mind. Beautiful. And now imagine that a strong but pleasant gust of wind comes through your experience and moves all of that out. Any residue, anything that even you're not aware of that you're holding on to that's time to go, let it go. It's energy. Let go of the stories too. The stories aren't real. Let them go by trusting deeper into your heart. Beautiful. And as that wind moves through, imagine that it brings through some beautiful clouds. Beautiful, fluffy, gorgeous summer day kinds of clouds. And things become kind of dreamy. Feel the energy in you kind of become like the energy of swooning. And allow yourself to begin to dream, to begin to imagine. The life, the pieces of the life the little vignettes of a life that your heart is saying, I want that. Maybe you see little images, get senses of things. What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? What kinds of people would you be with? What would be the ambiance of the environments that you spend time in? Feel what it's like to live the life, to live in the world that your heart is longing for. Maybe your heart begins to make its physical presence known to you. Feel it. See one little scene in that life. See if you can feel it in your body, what it's like to be there. Let your mind go. Let it go. There you go. And just let the heart pull you deeper into it. How do you see yourself in this life? Feel how you feel in that life. Feel how you feel about yourself in that life. It's okay, you can go ahead and smile. Allow your heart energy to expand. Allow this feeling to become more alive in your body. Being comfortable in your own skin, in your own life, and that life around you supports who you really are. Who are you in this life? Trust whatever you get. The mind might say, that doesn't make sense. That's not right. Ignore it. Feel. Now imagine, in whatever way this comes to you, that you're planting a big stake here. You're planting your flag here. This is mine. I claim this. Beautiful. Feel how that feels. You're doing great. Now I invite you from this place of standing solidly in this experience, whatever it is that you just had and are having, claiming it. Notice around the edges of your experience, or maybe it's come in more than just the edges. Any fear, worry, anxiety, doubt. Notice it as you stand firmly in this proclaiming, this claiming. Don't leave that space. As you look around at your experience, feeling around in your experience, maybe it's the mind. Maybe there's something in your belly. Maybe there's something in your heart that's scared to imagine that this is possible. Hold on to that stake. Hold on to what you've just proclaimed and claimed. Hold on to it. And notice that this fear, worry, doubt, anxiety is not you. It's occurring in your space. And it's likely a very familiar companion. Fear can be there without us becoming it. Doubt can be there without us buying into it. The mind can question without us feeling the need to justify. Beautiful. So now in this place where you are, think of it in a way as a womb that you've just created. And your time here in this imaginal realm has been planting some seeds and beginning to maybe have some of these seeds shown to you. Feel the aliveness of this. Know that you've just planted some seeds here. And that it's possible for fear, confusion, doubt, anxiety, etc. to come up and not leave the space you've claimed. This is the ground that you're going to be building on. More will grow. More will come. Beautiful. So take a slow, deep breath in, like you're breathing in this whole experience and inviting it to become a part of your physical and energetic bodies. Do this a few times. Bringing all of this in, staying in that place of claiming and proclaiming. And just notice what the mind may or may not be doing. Beautiful. So as you return your attention to being back there deep in your heart space, experience there a golden ball of light. Allow it to expand. Allow it. Allow it. The mind doesn't know how to allow, but the heart does. There we go. Beautiful. Allowing it to expand. Allowing it to expand. Fills the room, and it continues on out, heading towards infinite space, infinite time. Informing all consciousness everywhere in this expanse that we're always connected to. Informing it of these seeds, of this intention, of this stake that you've claimed. And from the heart, put out the request, support me, help me, guide me, strengthen me. Beautiful. That's beautiful. And now imagine that you have multidimensional arms and you can wrap your arms around this entire experience. Pull it into your chest, into your heart. And with your entire being smiling, take a big deep breath in. Become more aware of your body, more aware of what's supporting it. And when you're ready, come on back. There's a few more things that I want to say, and then we're going to end. But I'd like to share a few things to support you as you move forward from here. Because this next little over a week especially, but till the end of the month, it's going to be important out here in the more active world to be practicing what it was we just practiced, which is to stay true to that stake that you claimed, and just noticing what comes up that might seem to question or doubt it, and just like we just did, see it without making it us or making it a problem. There's likely to be familiar things, self-doubt, confusion, not trusting life, these kinds of things. The usual suspects. Because coming up here in, what would it be, a little over a week, the astrologers are saying that there's something likely to happen that will be like a big insight. Life in some ways saying, boom. And what will be really important to be doing between now and then is to be spending time not pushing forward, not getting caught up in the fear, the doubt, the confusion, the lack of trust. Spending time feeding and watering those seeds that you just planted by maybe coming in and envisioning again and letting that vision that was beginning to make itself known to you, let it fill it out and feel it. Feel it in your body and your being, and let your heart really go, yes. So that we are open and in alignment when something comes in that's an added piece to this picture that's not here yet, that we're going to need as we move forward. And then in a few weeks after that, no, 1 week after that, there'll be an eclipse. And then 2 weeks after that, another eclipse. We're going into this time of really profound change. Of life really trying to get us onto the right track, being the right version of ourselves, walking on that track. So I hope that makes some sense. I hope that makes some sense. So what we just did here, think of it like a first draft. And then again in August, life is going to kind of bring us back around to take a look at what it is that's transpired as these seeds begin to sprout between now and then. This year, when I went to talk to my astrologer in February, he just said, just plan for things to be like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then like this. But it's all happening in the context of life trying to kind of say, yeah, come here. And this has been how it's been for me. It's like I move forward because I can see the next step here. It's like, oh, that makes sense. I can get there from here. There's some stuff I got to deal with because I have doubt about myself, but I can get there. And then when I get there, life says, now look over here. And it's almost like there was a building in the way. And I couldn't have seen that. It would have freaked me out to imagine that. But once I move from here to here, then I can see around that building and I can see that. And it's still kind of intimidating, but I can deal with it and I can move on. So yeah, so beautiful. So thanks for coming. I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear from you what you got. Would love it if you would share in the chat what it is that you saw for your life, so that we can all hold that vision for you and we can all hold these visions for each other. So if you're new to me and would like to know how you can be in contact with me and how you can find out about stuff I'm doing, you can put your information here, and then you'll be on my mailing list. I don't email a lot, but I do with stuff that I have going on. That's a way to be in contact with me and also me with you. So I thank you very much for coming, and I just really allow yourself to let go of anything that feels like a should or a have to right now. Now that's not in alignment with your heart. And I know I'm hearing it already. How can I do it? I can't. Well, ask yourself again, is that really true? Is it really true that I can't not do that right now? Because most of the time the answer is, yeah, you can not do it right now. and to let more things fall from your life that don't fit any longer. Because life is really trying to get us to a very different place by the time the end of the year comes. And it's going to happen step by step by step by step. So thanks for coming in and allowing me to help you take a step. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Okay, take care.